What's good?
Not much, man. Been a minute since we've done this.
Holy hell, man. This is already our 5th episode, but I'll tell you what, we've been on a hiatus. I want to say it's been a month and a half. People are like, where the fuck have you been? I'll tell you what, man, we've been all over. It's been a crazy-ass month and a half. Let's recap it, man, real quick. Touch base. Check in with y'all. Got married. Holy shit, that flew by.
About fucking time.
About time. I'll tell you what, man, the boys had a great time at the wedding. A hell of a time. It was a beautiful day, man. Everything ran perfectly. Turned up. Awesome. We played Mo Bamba, Lil Uzi. Who's doing this shit? Fat Joe was at the wedding? I'm just playing. That was my Uncle Joe. My Uncle Joe was at the wedding. But yeah, crazy, man. Hit the little honeymoon. You know, your boy was Caribbean out there. I was getting my Coco Loco one. I had, double fisting those joints. It was a blast. It was a blast. We got to get to an all-inclusive. Maybe we'll be on site in Punta Cana hitting an RPO SportsTalk fucking pod. What do you say, huh?
That's probably not going to ever happen. The simple fact that we tried planning one before the wedding, and that got shot down quick, man. These ladies control us now, man. You get to know that fast, my guy.
Hey, just like when you're kids and you had those code names for like, hey, parent over shoulder. Was that POS or some shit? Right now, he's got wife over shoulder right now. Don't let him fool you. She's in a room. We're gonna let them hear what they want to hear, boys. We know how this goes. You let them hear what they want to hear. They walk away, and then we really get our business right. Get to our shit.
Butter them up, man.
Gotta butter them up. Happy life, happy wife, happy life. Right? That's what they say. I'm starting to learn that shit.
Learn it quick, man.
What else has been going on? Look at Joe's moving into a new crib. He's going to have a nice little setup. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Yeah. It'll be a big step for us, especially with the kid, man. Getting some extra space and then being able to have some folks visit finally, man. That's our big thing, is getting some family, some friends down here. Nice area. We're hour and a half from Atlanta, hour and a half from Knoxville, 2 hours from Nashville. I mean, it's a pretty good area to be in. Lots of stuff to do, man. Lots of stuff. Can't wait to catch some UT games this summer and get down to the Cubs Braves, man. I got to check out that new field. Yeah. But yeah, man, some exciting stuff. Your wedding was great. Had a lot of fun. I don't think I've ever stayed at a reception that went till midnight before, so that was interesting.
Hell of a time.
I was about to just go to bed there, man. I was so damn tired. Dad mode hits you, man. That and all those gin and tonics, whatever you guys called it for the wedding. Was it the Mackay special or something like that? had plenty of the Mackay special. Sure, a lot of people did, but no, it was fun. Hit up Nashville on my way back down. Had some good food. Just kind of went to the Country Music Hall of Fame. Did some different stuff than we normally do. But
let me ask you, man, are you a Nashville hot chicken sandwich guy? Are you all about that, Rabe?
Every now and then. I tell you what, when we were there, dude, the line was like a mile freaking long. I'm like, guys, you can go to KFC.
What'd you hit? Hattie B's?
That's what I'm talking about. That was like a mile long, dude. Like,
because I know we hit that in Vegas and nobody was there, man. And I think that's the shit. I think Hattie B's is the shit.
It's good, but man, it's just waiting in line that long for a chicken sandwich. I can't see it. It's like when Popeyes first came out with their chicken sandwich. You couldn't get it. It was exclusive, man. It was hotter than Supreme. Like where, bro? Like
all you gotta hit the pre-order on the chicken Sammy.
Yeah, all the hype beasts reselling the chicken sandwich on Facebook Marketplace, dude.
Holy shit! I forgot about that.
You had to get a middleman just to check if it was real.
Nah, this shit ain't real.
You weren't sure if someone was just cooking it up at home or if it was actually from Popeyes, man.
Brother, I remember those lines. I remember I was living in the city and I'd pass one and be like, listen, I got to make a stop and try to grab one of these. The lines were down the street, drive through, in the building. And then eventually, I said, fuck it. I'm going to suck this one up and just wait the 40 minutes and try to grab this thing. And I think the first time I tried to grab it, they sold out. You're fucking Popeyes. How do you sell out a chicken?
You went from sucking it up to being a sucker real quick. You fell for that one.
Straight jabroni, man. But I'll tell you what, man. A lot has happened. We're excited to be back.
Yeah,
Especially with football season coming.
I was about to say it's a good time too. Not much going on right now other than baseball, and the football gods are about to bless us here pretty soon. It'll be an interesting college season. I'm really curious about, and I know I might be getting off topic, but I'm really curious about Caleb Williams because I found out that he was making about $14 million a year in NIL deals. It's like, dude, it's more than a rookie contract, bro. Or no, it's not. It's close. I believe it's close. I think it's like 16 or 18 million is your first year, dude.
So I think he's what he's doing. I don't know if you've been looking into that shit, but he's actually really savvy as a young entrepreneur. Like he's actually receiving, stake in these companies, not just collecting a quick little bag to do some marketing behind it and push their products, but he's actually receiving stake and he's profiting off those. So it's long-term outlook too. Like, my God, he's kind of ahead of the game. It's crazy. It's crazy. And I think he's just going to go bananas this year, to be honest. I think we're talking about a second Heisman Trophy.
That's the expectation.
I'll tell you what, you being so close to UT over there, man, you got to go check out that kid, Joe Milton. That kid looks special. He looks special. An absolute cannon.
Definitely going to find my way out there.
An absolute cannon. Yeah, man. Full speed football season right around the corner. Can't wait. Can't wait to start talking about, all the preseason drama, fantasy football, outlook on teams, all that kind of shit.
What's interesting, though, this year is we still have a lot of guys like Saquon still up in air with these franchise tags, man. So it's like you're really going to see the evolution of the running back this year. Like, is it going to continue in the NFL the way it has the last few years? Because it really just seems like they're being devalued. And, I mean, look at the Bears. When's the last time they re-signed a running back? They let him go and they redraft a guy. They find their replacement every year. So it's like Khalil Herbert's the new David Montgomery, right? He'll be gone when his deal's up. We'll have a guy to slot in for him. We'll draft another backup. So it's just you're really seeing it's hard for teams to commit long term. And I'm really curious what happens with Saquon. And Zeke. Zeke's still on the market. Dalvin Cook's on the market, man. We got a lot of big names still.
I think Saquon is really, like you said, like he's going to be defining in how all this all lays out for the future landscape of running backs. And listen, if you're an elite back, you're not a diamond. Like Saquon's not a dime a dozen back. He's not a dime a dozen player. I think he deserves a bag, but I don't know.
It's like investment because you can, if you really build up that O-line enough, man, anybody can. I don't want to say anybody, but you can find a guy to go get you 3 to 5 yards a carry. You know what I mean? And
yeah, it's facts.
It's interesting to see, like I said, what's going to happen with that because I agree he deserves the money, but is that a smart investment, man?
Yeah,
and on top of that, this might have a big move on a lot of people that are really contemplating about playing that position, right?
Yeah.
Growing up, I mean, you see where it's at. Why be a running back?
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough. It's going to be tough.
I want to play wide receiver, man. This league's all about throwing. I want to catch the ball. Right?
Especially if a guy like Dalvin Cook, man, I think I want to say, no 1,000-yard season, really ultra productive.
Crazy that there's this much talent still out there, man.
Yeah, and I know these guys are being somewhat picky and trying to choose the right option for them and compete and truly win. But at the same time, it's kind of concerning that they haven't signed at this point. Like we're getting to the nitty-gritty here, where it's right around the corner. We'll see what the fuck happens, man. I'm excited, man. It's going to be a great football season. Can't wait. You want to pull up that link right quick? Talking about football season, man, there's some crazy stuff popping around the internet. I don't know how this guy's so slept on. I came across him a while back, and I thought it was a gem. You shot me a message the other day sending me his link, and Man, we got to show you guys. I don't know if you guys have heard about this throw god. This throw god, man. This guy's hilarious.
My cannon arm is the devil's cock.
And that's just one of many, man. I sent you the Brock Bowers one
yesterday. Yeah.
This one,
I'm a fucking huge Brock Bowers fan. He's just so big and strong and fucking sexy to me. Jesus Christ. I'll fucking throw him the ball every fucking snap if I was his quarterback. I'll let him.
The best part that gets me about this one is when he talks about the interception. I lost my mind.
All the plays for me. I guarantee if you were throwing the football to Brock Bowers, it will always be a completion. He will fight for his fucking life. You will never get fucking intercepted. Fucking ever. If I threw a pass that got intercepted that was intended for Brock Bowers, he would fucking hunt that fucking defender down and he would fucking kill him. He would stop it, fucking stall until it burns you. And he would make him fumble and he would scoop the ball up and he would run and come hand it to me.
This guy is gold, man.
Their pass, and then I would throw it again to him and he would catch it and he would run and score a fucking touchdown.
He would pick it up, hand it back to me so I could throw him another pass.
Holy Christ, man.
Look him up. I'm not going to play the whole clip.
Yeah, look, you got to look this guy up. He's just gold. And I'll tell you what, he actually has an absolute hose. Like this guy can sling it.
He did play
which is even funny.
College football D1. I don't remember exactly where, but
I want to say it was I think I came across. I want to say it was like Arkansas. I think he played with Ryan Mallett. I think he's that same kind of class. And I think he touched on it in one of his videos or something like that.
Oh, now I'm mad.
You want to find it? You want to read this guy's history?
I think he went to NC State.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
He played quarterback. Yeah.
I think he said maybe. I think he was there with Russ. Actually, I think he was there with Russ. We'll let you guys know.
Either way, man.
That shit is gold, man.
Absolute cannon.
That shit is gold. So let's get into the actual pod today, man. We're gonna touch on all this NBA action. It's been a wild NBA summer. A lot of new changes, a lot of new faces, some big time names, man. But we're gonna bring in our first guest of the show, and this guy's someone that's special, man. Near and dear, one of our closest friends. Jesse Ramirez coming to the table, NBA expert Jesse Ramirez. Welcome, son.
How are we doing today, gentlemen?
We're doing good. He's out here in the Atlanta Falcons jersey. What do we got? Is that Julio?
That's the Ridley right there, my guy.
Oh man,
is that? And it looks a little. Looks a little big. Is that his actual jersey?
He's got the game used. What do you think? It's comeback season for Ridley?
I think absolutely. They got a lot of weapons over there, and he can definitely feast if he wanted to. You know, they got T-Law, and I think we talked about it a little bit. This could be a big year for T-Law.
Yeah, absolutely. I think
career defining.
I think Sunshine balls out this year. I think he takes the next step. But hey, we wanted to bring Jesse on board. He's an OKC Thunder fan. They just got Chet Holmgren back. Jesse's a big-time NBA follower. Provides a lot of interesting takes, especially with that young build he's got there. What are your thoughts on Chet's first game here, man? He's coming back. Do you think he showed up? Do you think he's him? Some people are saying that he's going to be Rookie of the Year. What are your thoughts?
So, the way I look at it is he's a solid. I think what he's put up is the games he has played, solid like 15, 10, a couple blocks. And he's doing it without a true facilitator out there. Yeah, you have Trey Mann out there, and you had Jalen Williams play a game or two. But once he gets out there with Shai and the other boys, I think he's going to fit in perfectly and be exactly what they need, to take that next step. This is going to be a big year for them. They retooled again, getting another guy like Chet back and their number 10 pick, Casey Wallace. So I think he's going to fit in just perfectly. And I mean, just look at it too. Wemby just played the other day.
Yeah.
Similar builds, somewhat similar, styles. Just with their length and their builds. And Wemby had a tough time. And I know he's coming from France, and it's a different game out there. But Chet hasn't played in the NBA yet, and he doesn't look like he didn't have that game one struggle, and he's consistently put up the same numbers in summer league. So I believe in him, and I think he's got some promise.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, man. These demigods coming into the league, I mean, just such unique builds. Like, as much as I want to shit on Chet just because you're a fan of him or what have you, I mean, these guys are unicorns, right? Over 7 foot with a decent handle. We're not calling them AI with a crossover, right? But a decent handle, can move around the floor. They can recover on defense quickly. Like, you're seeing these block numbers are through the roof for both guys, right? They're going to be able to contest everything in the lane. It's going to be interesting, man. I got to see those two go at a Twin Towers battle of the sticks, I think we're calling it.
The Thin Towers.
The Thin Towers?
Thin Towers, we can call them. Whatever.
That is a bar.
I like it.
That is a bar, man. But like you said, Wemby. Let's touch on Wemby here, because his debut game, man, had a rough outing. I think he even quoted, he's like, I don't know what the hell I was doing on court, which is the craziest shit to hear from a generational prospect. I don't know, man. Spurs fans, are you nervous? Are you nervous? Because I would be. He got bodied by no-name Kai Jones. He's receiving heat from this Britney Spears shit. All eyes are on Wemby right now, man. All eyes, whether you're in sports or not. It's crazy.
You touched on it a little bit. Just with Wemby's size, and he's supposed to be a generational. He really shouldn't. The things they do at that size, they really shouldn't be able to do that. But he's out there doing it. You can just, what I saw personally is, he just, he did look like he had no idea what was going on out there, and he just, he looked a little awkward to me. He was relying a lot on his size, and it looks like he needs to get in a little bit more shape here too. There was times where I saw him just trying to kind of just lingering around, not really wanting to crash the board. I mean, you're the tallest dude on the court, man. You got to go out there and get it. Show me some hustle. Show me some heart. And it really did look like he almost didn't want to be there.
I'd say in his defense, though, he's played more recently than most of these guys.
More recently?
More recently than a lot of these guys. A lot of these guys haven't played since March, April, right? I mean, he just finished up winning a title in the Euro League. So, I mean, if he's a little rusty, he's a little rusty, man. He didn't have much time off. It's like LeBron playing in the Summer League, right? But to touch on a couple of things, you mentioned that these guys are playing like, these tall guys are playing out of their minds like they shouldn't. And really, at the end of the day, I think that's just how basketball used to be, right? Like, we were taught to put the 7-footer, the tall guy underneath the hoop, right? Like, you see these guys now with more freedom, and he actually got the chance to learn how to handle the ball, right? Facilitate. So that's huge for basketball, man. Like, you don't have these, raging dad head coaches that are telling kids, get underneath the hoop. That's all you're ever going to be, right? So I think basketball is evolving. I love it. I love that those guys are able to handle the ball, and you're going to see a lot more of them, man. I mean, you already noticed it in the last few drafts, right? But at the end of the day, man, this is Summer League, bro. Like, bro, we got Orlando Robinson. You ever heard of this guy? Ever? Dude, Orlando Robinson on the Heat putting up 36 fucking points, man. Like, dude, this is NBA Summer League. There are no stakes. Like, there's absolutely nothing involved. So if Wemby goes out and scores whatever it was 8-10 points, had a pretty rough shooting, like dude, it is what it fucking is. I mean, let's wait to see what happens when we actually get into the NBA regular season, right? I mean, just scrolling through, who is this K George guy from Utah putting up 33 points, right? And no idea who he is.
The G Leaguers, man, they come in and they ball in the summer league.
Like, I'm just saying, like, this is, we'll know when we get to the season. So
their first round pick, man.
I agree with Jesse that Holmgren's probably got a good shot to win Rookie of the Year, right? Like, Rookie of the Year. It's like a Ben Simmons thing. Just because I think he's been around the team enough, right? He knows the offense already. He's got to step up, a leg up on these guys. He better be the running favorite to win Rookie of the Year. I will say that. Absolutely. Facts. Better be.
Facts. 100%. Last couple things I want to touch on. Summer League, man. There's already young guys getting hurt. Big names. That Amen Thompson, Scoot Henderson. These guys are already getting banged up, and they're looking to already shut these guys down. Again, like you said, it's just Summer League. No reason to come out here and blow a knee with your heralded top lottery.
James Wiseman's playing in the Summer League, bro. How many years he been in the league?
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? Like,
that's crazy.
Dude, it's Summer League, bro.
Crazy. NBA free agency opened up, and man, it was freaking wild to see some of these names flying off the board early. You want to pull up that graphic?
Yeah.
And try to track to see who's gone where.
Oh, my God. I'll tell you, there's one team that I want to talk about in particular. Let me get this pulled up here.
Run that up. And while you pulled it up, man, selfishly, I'm going to talk about my Bulls here. Very mediocre free agency start. A team that is literally in what's called basketball hell. They're on the cusp of a play-in 8 seed, and making improvements marginally isn't going to get it done, boys.
Yeah.
Who'd you want to touch on? Lay it out there for the boys. Lay it out there.
Dude, we have got to really start wondering what the hell this team is doing. What is their goal at the end of the day? Do they want to keep it together? Do they want to blow it up? Because if you guys notice, every team has made some type of movement except the Atlanta Hawks. What the hell are you doing? This is a team that made the play-in game, right? I think they hosted a home play-in game, right?
Yeah.
Eliminated. Or no, they advanced, right? Yeah, they did advance. I think they played the Celtics in the first round or something like that. But what are we doing, man? What are we doing to keep Trae Young, right? Are we relying on that stupid mock draft that shows Bronny James coming to you guys next year and you hope you sign LeBron? Like, come on, seriously, what are we doing to compete with some of these other teams in the East, man? I just don't understand how you can have talent like that and just do absolutely nothing, man.
They're letting talent walk. John Collins is out. Forgot about that. They're letting talent walk, man. Real quick, shout out to Legion Hoops, man. These guys are on top of their shit with every rumor, tracking all these free agents. Man, they're my one-stop shop. I don't know about you guys. These guys are super clutch.
There is one other team, too, that I wanted to touch base on before we move on. And, man, this was an under-the-radar signing, but I think it's so impactful for this team that, honestly, dude, Eastern Conference Finals is put in their it's in their wheelhouse this year, bro. It's the Cleveland Cavaliers, man. Getting Max Strus,
they're a deep team,
a 3-point shooter, and then adding LeVert back, right? It was a re-sign.
Look at that! Look at all those signings.
Man, that is going to be a deep team. Hopefully they can get some chemistry going on early. Maybe make another trade or something at the All-Star break. But man, I really think, why not Eastern Conference Finals?
Sleeper potential.
Sleeper for sure.
And in my opinion too, with that team, with everyone they signed, is If he does end up panning out, is Amani Bates, a guy like Amani Bates.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God, yeah. Jeez.
He pans out for him, fills out, becomes,
Oh my
a Slim
goodness.
Reaper like KD. They'll be a force in the East for a while.
Yeah.
Imagine trying to defend that guy. Woo, boy.
I mean, Kyle, you say it all the time, man. That division between the Bucks, Bulls, Pistons, Pacers, and Cavs, man, that is going to be a bloodbath of a
It really
division.
is. It really is. Every team is improving. Every single team. The Pacers are getting better. They signed Halliburton to the absolute bag. 260. Holy moly. The Pistons. My God, the Pistons, if they can put it together here this season, it wouldn't shock me if they're, over 500 and actually competing. Right? So tough division. Tough division. Best signing. Who's your guys' best signing in free agency thus far? What do you think is the best deal out there?
Me, go ahead, Jesse.
I was gonna think about. Honestly, in my opinion, the best signing, and I could be overlooking some of them here, but it still would be for me the Suns with what they got, in Beal there.
Tough, right? Oh my God.
It is tough, and yeah, they lack a bench, but all you got to do is stay healthy and win some games in the regular season here, because in the playoffs, again, you got to stay healthy there too. But you play your starters a lot of the minutes there. You get into your bench a little bit. It's nice to have some rotational pieces, but you're gonna see a combination of Katie Booker, Booker Beal on the court at all times. In Phoenix there. So
it's a lot of
I
points,
think that's
brother.
a big one, and they got him for peanuts on the dollar. Let's be honest. I know we were talking about this whole Dame trade and what they could get for him, but they really did get Beal for nothing. So I feel like that was a steal there.
Yeah, that's an absolute steal. You add him to an already star-studded roster. That's 30 points a night. He's an absolute bucket. No matter what, Bradley Beal can get his against anybody in the league. That's worth every dollar to me. Best signing, Joe?
Best signing, man. It's probably going to be a team they're going to be going up against a lot, potentially in the playoffs. It's a re-sign, man. It's Draymond Green keeping that glue together, like one last rodeo, right? Like let's see what we can do. We're still very competitive, right? I think moving Jordan Poole was a good move. I don't know about bringing Chris Paul in though. I don't know if you guys saw that. Dame was actually interested in joining the Warriors before they signed Chris Paul, or not signed, but traded for Chris Paul. So maybe they jumped the gun a little bit early there and potentially could add Dame. But I really think bringing Draymond back, he's kind of like the Dennis Rodman of the Bulls back in the late 90s, right? He's just that glue that holds everybody together. Getting Jordan Poole out, removing some of that friction, because you guys remember before the season started last year that Draymond and Jordan Poole, that incident, I think that lingered throughout the season. Draymond, he's one of those guys where he may not put up the best numbers, but dude, he will get the rest of the guys going. He is their vocal leader on the court, right? So I think bringing him back, and hats off to him and his agent for getting 4 years, $100 million. Again, at his production level, Jesus Christ.
That luxury tax is going to be a mother.
Oh, it is. But again, I think if they lose him, I really don't know. They may be a play-in team, who knows? But I think bringing him back really gives them another chance to go chase another title.
I got a question for you. Who do you think needs who more? Do you think Steph and Clay need Dre more, or do you think Dre needs them more?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think Steph and Clay need him more. Because honestly, if you put Draymond on the Bulls, man, he would fit in so well with that team. I think he would take him to the next level, just being that hustle type player. again, it's not his stats as much. Sure, there's some games where he puts up some decent numbers, but it's just really being that vocal leader on the court, man, getting your guys fired up, calling them out when they're sucking, when they're screwing up, man. It takes a special person to call out Steph Curry, right?
You absolutely need one of those guys on the
Not
court.
many people can do that, can check a Steph Curry, right? Man, you put Draymond on a team with LeBron. My God, I really think he's undervalued, not from his stats again, but just his presence on the court is huge. So I really do feel like they need him, and they were also probably a part of bringing him back. I would absolutely assume that.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Because, I mean, it's tough to run with just, your backcourt, right? It's tough to compete with just a backcourt. I mean, you guys see a similar scenario probably years ago would have been Dame and God, what's his name? I can't remember. He's on the Pelicans now.
CJ
McCollum, right? Like that would have been a similar, and it just never worked, man. It just never worked. There are nights where they go off for 50, 60, but they don't have the backbone. They don't have the defense. It's just a high-scoring game. It's just a shootout at the end of the day. So, yeah, Draymond, man, absolutely the best free agent move I can think of. Single free agent move I can think of for any team out there. It was huge.
Man, fuck you. I'm going Orlando Robinson, 1 year, 1.8 for the Heat. You just said he dropped 30? Value. Value, baby. Comeback season. Next topic here, man. I want to dive into this. Ton of news broke out yesterday. New NBA structure. In-season tournament. This shit is wild. This is wild. So if you guys haven't heard, right, the NBA is going to have an in-season tournament in the month of November through early December, right, where teams are going to play in stages in order to win, a trophy. And it looks like also money for the players, it looks like. So there's incentive to win on their end. I'm not sure if there's any other incentive to win for the teams. I know in initial discussions around this structure and idea, they were talking about maybe incorporating some benefits for the lottery. I don't see anything on that. Initial thoughts on this? Did you guys look into this? To me, yeah, it's a nice little wrinkle, but I really don't see the benefit. Right? It's mid-season, anyways.
So there's casual fans, and then there's fans that actually keep up with basketball and DGen Summer League. You know what I mean? We're over here talking about Summer League. I've watched a couple games and stuff. So there's two sides to it, and I think this was purely a business move. This is a participation trophy. It's just to try to get the ratings up, and some of these casual fans are going to love it. They're going to talk about it amongst themselves, and they're going to love the fact that it's some sort of tournament and potentially playing for something in their eyes. But I will say the one benefit I did think about is because all these games I believe are televised. So the teams that these smaller markets, or these teams even that aren't going to get televised, or maybe televised once in the season, you're going to get to see your team play mid-season and in some games here if you're not local. But that'd be the only thing in my opinion. It's a participation trophy there.
I forgot brother is on the web browser here. I thought he had the hub up there in the top left. I just had to make sure we had the right tabs up there. That's a great point. That is a great point. A great philosopher once said, "It's all about the motherfucking money," and it is right here. It is right here. Absolutely. I'm sure they ran the analytics on the season and how their viewership looks, right? And there's probably a lull before the All-Star break, right? Obviously, the All-Star break's a big, a big draw for those guys. So yeah, start of the season, everybody wants to see how their team starts out, right? Everybody's watching. Fuck, your team loses 5 straight, it's over until the All-Star break where you get tuned back in. And then obviously as you near towards the end of, playoff basketball, when things start getting in the nitty-gritty come like April, So you're right, man. Probably that draw aspect. JB, any negative criticism on this?
Are players forced to play? That's my question. Because this seems like, and I agree with Jesse, it seems like it's going to be catered to those people, right, that may not see their teams play a whole lot on national TV, yada, yada, but also teams that fucking suck, man. Like, they're going to go hard in this, right? They're going to try their ass off. Do you think LeBron James gives a shit about this mid-season tournament, dude? Is this going to elevate his GOAT status or anything? Like, no. You're going to see some of these people just absolutely try their ass off. This is where you bring those motherfuckers from the summer league. Hey, come here. Come play 10 games for me, right?
Yeah, Orlando Robinson, baby.
Yeah.
Get his ass out there.
I think that's where maybe some of these guys get some extra playing time, but I don't know. We'll have to see. Maybe the players buy into it, but for me, it's like Jesse said, it's participation trophy. It might highlight some of the young talent that we have, but it's really, for me, I just think it's for teams that fucking suck.
I'll tell you what.
Fans can watch their teams in the playoffs, right? That they'll ever get to see their teams ever make a run. This is their chance. So, hats off to I'm going to call right now the Clippers for winning this, because it seems like they're a team that'll probably win this.
Who's in their group?
Where are they? Nuggets, Pelicans, Mavericks, Rockets. I just like sitting their stars, right? Sitting their stars. Too young, too fat and slow. Like, they're going to come out that group, right? So
I was literally just going to bring that up, Joe. Great point. It's like, you know what kills all this? As soon as they start sitting their stars, man, it's over. As soon as you start sitting your stars, it's over. Because then you're thinking it's almost like the bubble, right? You know, hey, not everybody played. Everybody discredits the Lakers. It's the same shit here where, hey, not everybody played for this trophy. Who gives a shit? I think you're swimming up Schitt's Creek at that point. Okay, so
Bulls got a legit shot, though. I mean, Magic, Raptors, Nets, Celtics. So maybe this is for us, Kyle.
hey, this could be the year.
When is this? When does the finals take place? Is it in 2023 or 2022?
The finals.
Championships. Yeah, I'm going with the finals. December 9th. So the Bulls are going to be the 2023 mid-season NBA champions.
Fuck yeah, dude. Fuck yeah. I love it.
Any other thoughts on this?
Nah, man, we'll close that out. It's Sunday, man. We're thankful to have any of you guys joining us right now. So we love this, man. It's a blast. Big event tomorrow. Big event. The Home Run Derby. Man, the Derby over the years, you know, some people have talked about it, you know, it's lost its lust, right? The format changing. Some people are for it, some are against it. I'll tell you what, unlike many other sports,
hold on.
It seems like the MLB has done All-Star right.
How old is this format? It's a few years old, isn't it?
Yeah.
I was looking at ratings this
7
morning, and the
7 years.
7 years. I was going to say the 2021 Home Run Derby is one of the top 10 watched home run derbies, and that's pretty impressive considering the late 90s, early 2000s. You know, everybody was watching them.
Everybody watched.
So the fact that 2021 they're a top 10 rating, that's a pretty good sign, I'd say.
Everybody watched it. You know what? I think they're doing it the right way, and you know, it's a sport where you're not necessarily gonna get hurt based off the actual athletics performance being displayed. So there is that aspect to it. But we're seeing all of our stars out. Typically the best hitters every year in the Home Run Derby. Typically, right? Obviously we want Shohei and guys like that to hop in. But, you know, this year they're doing it based off of home run count, which is still surprising me, right? If you're doing it based off home run count, I do want to see Shohei in there. I do. I want to see the top 8 guys in home run count in the Derby. So I'm excited. As a homer, you see the hat. There's a reason why we wore this today. The bad boy from the South Side, La Pantera. He's in the home run derby, Luis Robert, man. Number 1 seed. And I'll tell you what, this is going to shortly become a bit in our podcast. But Witt's picks, man, I will tell you what, best gambling advice I will give you this weekend. I will tell you, I'm on a burner right now, an absolute burner. The kid is on a comeback right now. The kid is on an absolute tear in his gambling sports book. And right now, Luis Robert, what's that, plus 450? Is that what I'm saying?
550.
Plus 550? Okay, no, my bad, I can't see it.
The odds may be a little different now, but yeah.
Plus 550, the number 1 seed. So the way that the structure is laid out,
this
the
was
number
3
one
days ago. This was 3 days ago, by the way. So he's probably either plus 500 or probably plus 450. Just heads up.
I'm hoping that it hasn't creeped too far down because I want you guys to run to the sports books and get in on some of this action. Because Luis Robert, as the number 1 seed, is what, the 4th, 5th guy favored to win this thing? I think he's got a direct shot to the finals. It'll be interesting to see who he faces because that other side is absolutely stacked. If you want to scroll down to the bracket there, Joe, absolutely stacked on the other side. Right?
Ladies and gentlemen, he is not lying. This is free cheese on Lou Bob here. Free cheese.
Free cheese. I mean, Adley Rutschman, call a spade, he's a great prospect. You know, he's got under 15 home runs right now. Luis Robert has 25, 26.
Hottest player in baseball right now. I'd say.
Here's where
behind Shohei, maybe.
Here's where I think Lou Bob loses this, right?
No.
Because you're right. He's got a pretty easy path, but he's gonna bat. If I understand this correctly, he's gonna bat second every time until he gets. I mean, really, right? He's going to bat second?
Yeah.
He's going to start off batting second.
The favorite goes second.
Right? Rutschman, it's 10 homers. Lou Bob, as soon as he hits 11, he's done. Right?
Mm-hmm.
These guys maybe hit 15. As soon as he hits 16, they're done. Meanwhile, these guys are hitting 20-plus homers for 2 straight rounds. They're warmed up. They're hot. Lou Bob's not. Right? That's the only thing that I can see that's really going against him in this case. He's just he doesn't need to hit a lot of home runs early because these guys probably aren't going to hit a whole lot.
But I'll tell you what, I'm gonna Kamehameha, whatever the shit called. I'm gonna put that bad energy right back at you because what about fatigue, Joe? What about fatigue,
bro? You're swinging a bat. You're getting plenty of time off. My pick is Rodriguez. He's the hometown man. He's been close before, and right now. He was 3 days ago, he's plus 450. Honestly, I bet you these two swapped odds. There's a good chance they swapped odds. I'm going with Julio. I think it's a Julio Lou Bob final. I think it's going to be an entertaining one. I think Julio takes it.
For the love of God, kiss the baby, Joe. Kiss the baby. Jess, you got any takes on this? Sounds like you're pro Lou Bob.
I'm definitely leaning Lou Bob here. Of all the teams that I do follow, I am a Sox fan here, so there might be some bias in it. But, I think Lou Bob is one of the hottest hitters right now in baseball, other than, with what show he's doing. But I'm gonna ride the homer, and kind of just piggybacking off what Joe said. I feel like we've definitely seen some of these guys get done with with their hits and be sweaty and huffing and puffing. So
100%.
So as much as you want to say, the fatigue, the fatigue will be there for them, and Lou Bob not being warmed up, I think 50-50.
Who do you think's in that? Who do you think's in that final? Who does he face? That's what I'm, turning my gears on here. It's look at that other side. It is just stacked.
It is stacked. I like the young Julio Rodriguez, but honestly, I'll say Lou Bob and Vlad Guerrero.
Ooh,
that'll be my dark horse.
As long as you didn't say
side.
Pete Alonso, because I think Pete's gonna have a rough one this year.
And let me tell you, I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. I'm gonna throw Pete Alonso in there in the finals. Okay, a guy that's done it before twice. I want to say, right? I think he's done it twice. He really knows this event. He's a guy that's been there and done that. Like, he's going to have a great pace. He knows he has strategy, right? Whereas a guy like Lou Bob, Mookie Betts, these guys that are just they have no idea, right? They have no idea. It could go south real quick. But I will say, last year's home run derby, this guy was an absolute movie to watch. He's in the weight room. He's getting his deadlifts in, right? He's doing meditation in the cages, right? And the cameras are following him the entire night, and he absolutely shit the bed. He absolutely shit the bed. Is that what you're talking about, Joe?
Bro, I think well, the good thing he's got going is that the Mets started playing well again. So, but dude, I'm telling you, Julio, he's gonna have the home crowd on his side every time he goes up there. Pete's gonna get booed like crazy from the get-go, right, man? I'm just like, I like the hometown kid. He's done well in prior home run derbies too. Now it's his home. That's his home turf. It's his time to shine. So I don't know. Pete Alonso is a weird motherfucker, dude. So that whole meditation shit, man. And then for him to fail as bad as he did,
yeah, he fell on his face, right? It wasn't just like he got edged out. Like he fell on his face. Rough. No, I see that headline already. I could see that, right? 2 5-tool, players in the final. Look at how athletic they are. Look at this. Look at that. Like, wow, the draw. They're so young. Like, yeah, I could see that. Lou Bob and Rodriguez. So it'll be a fun one, man. I want to say 7:00 tomorrow night, Central Time, or something like that.
Gonna be a doozy.
As we near the end of this pod, man, again, we want to say thank you for those listening. Leave us a comment. Leave us some ratings at the bottom. We want to chop it up with you guys. It's a blast getting on these. It's a fucking blast. Any words of wisdom, words of advice for the people out there? Mine, I'll start real quick. Again, it's simple. It's Lou Bob plus 500 all day, all night. Anybody else? The floor is open.
I just want to have a quick little conversation about something because we got some extra time.
Yeah.
We're both Chicago Cubs, or not Cubs, but Chicago baseball fans. You guys
don't you say Cubs?
You guys are Sox. I'm Cubs. We're both in similar situations right now. What do you guys want your team to do before the trade deadline?
It's a good question. It's a very good question.
Do you blow it up?
I will say you're too deep, man. You're too deep. You've essentially pushed all your chips in. Signing these pitchers that are aging. Like, there's no reason to sell. You're getting pennies on a dollar for a guy like Lance Lynn. What's the point? You're only 8 games back. It wouldn't be shocking if you could put it together and make a little run here, especially with the added wild card spot now in baseball. Like, I think you just go all in. You can reevaluate in the offseason and blow it up at that point. The division is the worst in baseball, simply put. I mean, anybody's division at this point. You
really think – who's in first, Twins?
Yeah.
You really think you can catch the Twins?
See, the Twins.
They have pretty elite pitching right now.
The Twins are streaky too because they went on a little bit of a fall there for a moment. You have the talent. You got to put it together. And if you can't this season, the manager's got to go and you got to reevaluate the entire thing.
Yeah, because that's a pretty easy division to win, I would say. They were probably favorites at the beginning of the season, if not maybe the Twins, but
it was close. I want to say it was Indians. I want to say it was the Indians, and I want to say it was the Indians and Sox were like maybe plus 200 to win the division, something like that.
I'd hate to see him break up the band. It has been a rough past 2 years. I think, and maybe was it 2020 was when we were watching and we thought they probably had their best shot, or 2021 if I'm not mistaken. One of those years, either way. But yeah, it'd just be tough to see them blow it up. Being a fan, I feel like they've had such promise. Every year. Filling my heart. Just with the thought of getting to a World Series, and it would suck to tear it down. I think you really do just ride it out the rest of the season, evaluate in the off season, and really try to get some talent, man.
So,
If you
so should they buy at the All-Star break? You think they should buy? I mean, we're talking about a guy that's probably going to get traded from the Guardians is Shane Bieber, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's got some juice in his arm. Do they go after some pitching? Do they go after some bats? Like, I mean, you guys say they shouldn't sell, so should they buy? I don't think they should just sit with what they have, right?
I mean, you're buying on the margins. You're talking about again, historically, the team in general is very conservative at the deadline. You were a second baseman away from truly competing a few years back. Didn't make a move. Other second basemen were being moved. Like, a very cheap organization.
Do they learn from their mistakes? Because if you're 8 games out at the All-Star break, I mean, you're still in it.
Still in it, 100%. It's what's out there. What are you willing to spend as the owner? I think that's the dilemma you get into. I don't think they're selling anybody, quite honestly. It's a matter of what's out there.
So who's your if you guys had to pick, and I'm putting you on the spot, but if you had to pick, like, what's your one wish at the All-Star break? One player you'd love to see them have.
I need a starting pitcher. I just need someone consistent to give solid innings, some quality starts. You're not seeing that with the White Sox. I mean, you're seeing some great games from Lance Lynn, 12 strikeouts, 11 strikeouts, but they're still giving up 8. It's wild.
Our pitchers are, other than what's his name? I'm blanking on
Dylan. Cease.
No, yeah. You got C. I mean, they're Cease is young. We got who?
Kopech.
Yeah, that's the only one I was thinking. I'm blanking right now. Sorry, but yeah, those 2 young guys. Those guys were our future, and they still are potentially. They just haven't been. They're having a rough stretch here, and what you get with Lucas Giolito, and I would definitely say some pitching, man. It's just been rough. Not to mention the bats too, man. I feel like you need a little bit of everything here, dude. They're not just,
inconsistent bats.
Yes.
Do you think, and I'm sorry I'm hammering y'all with questions, but I think the White Sox is just such an interesting team right now. Do you think Liam Hendricks being away had a big impact on that team?
That's a good question.
Because, man, it's closing out games is one of the hardest things you can do in the bigs, man.
It's tough.
Finding someone that can just go out there and, 3 up, 3 down, right, without getting runners on base. Because they're throwing straight gas. Like, their job is to blow their arm out in an inning or 2, right? Like, that is their job. That's a tough job, man. I think he had a big impact on your guys' season not being there. I mean, obviously, take care of yourself, but I think it had a huge impact on you guys.
Yeah, I mean that bullpen in general, right? He's a leader in that bullpen.
He seems like you see when he's out there, man, and he's swearing at these guys when he's striking them out and getting hyped. He's an energy guy, man, and he's definitely someone I'm sure they missed. You know what I mean? To kind of, potentially pick up the morale there, or just get these guys locked in.
Yeah.
What about the Cubs? Let's put some heat on this jabroni.
So the Cubs, right? Like, we all were wondering, what the fuck are they doing? Signing like Stroman, Bellinger, man. Like, what are they doing, right? But now I'm starting to see they took a gamble, right? They took a gamble. Like, is it going to work? If it doesn't work and these guys play well, at least we can move them for young prospects. So I want them to sell, especially after sell. I want them to sell. Especially after watching that Brewers series, because the Reds are hot, right? The Reds are hot. Don't know how hot they're going to be, but the Brewers are pretty consistent, right? And in that series, we won games only because of errors at the end of the game. Like, other than that, they beat the shit out of us, right? They were hitting us. Stroman was just he was doing all right, but then he gave up a 3-run jack to Yelich. Just he throws the same spot over and over and over again. It's low.
He's peppering it.
He wants people to ground out, right? That's his big thing. I don't want someone that's just that wants the ball to be put in play, right? I don't want that. And I don't think the Cubs are sound enough to even consider keeping these guys around. So Stroman, Bellinger, Mancini, boom, get rid of them. Get the young prospects, because guess what? If Elly De La Cruz is as good as he is, man, the Cincinnati Reds are going to be relevant for a while. You need to blow it up, get the young guys going. Bullpen sucks. But we have some good young players. So I think that's the direction they need to go. And I hope that the fans are starting to see that. You can't just, being the Chicago Cubs, you can't just put a shit product out there. We're competitive. Do I think we could make a run at the division if we kept everybody? Maybe if we added somebody, but I just don't think it's worth it. I think you sell, you get rid of all those big names. People are going to extend on Stroman. They're going to give you more than they should, because there's not a whole lot of pitchers really out there on that trade block. So just absolutely blow it up, sell, get rid of those guys. You don't need them. Belly, what a great signing.
Yeah, turn it around.
If they can trade him for some young prospects, man, a haul of prospects and pitchers, whatever, absolute one of the best signings they've made in a long time.
Real
took
quick,
a gamble on him, flipped him. He's doing great.
Real quick, as a Cubs fan, right? I mean, Elly De La Cruz is lighting the league on fire right now. It's insane what he's doing. These highlights are ridiculous. These stats are stupid. He's already hit for the cycle. Like, it's just bananas.
That and
does it hurt? Does it hurt you? Is it a kick in the crotch just to watch him as a Cubs fan? Like, does it hurt?
I think it hurts more that the Cincinnati Reds are like in first place. I don't really. It's not so much Elly De La Cruz. It's the fact that the Cincinnati Reds are in first, and that hasn't happened in a long time. I mean, but dude, every franchise, obviously we didn't have Elly De La Cruz, but like, the White Sox, you guys had Fernando Tatis. He ain't there, right? Like, that's
shut up. Don't you say
that. there's always someone that's going to give you a kick in the nuts, but I don't care about the Elly De La Cruz. It's just the Reds, man. For them to win the division, or the Pirates, right? Like, dude, if the Brewers or the Cardinals win the division in a year the Cubs don't, like, I'm fine with that. But the fucking Reds, God damn it.
I'll tell you what, dude, your fucking fandom is rubbing off on your son already. Every time you see Elly De La Cruz, he cries. That shit is mad funny.
But yeah, I mean, he could be a generational talent. He could be a one-year wonder. I hope he's not. I mean, he's great for baseball, dude.
I hope he's not. I hope he's not. I want to see these highlights next 10 years.
In my division, but honestly, dude, like, I really don't think the Reds are going to stay relevant for long. So there's a good chance he could end up being traded. Like, that's just the history of the Reds and the Pirates, man. They have these stellar guys on their team, and then they just can't compete, so they have to offload them for prospects.
Yeah, right? They don't have rosters. They got guys.
It's tough. Yeah. But I'll tell you what, the Reds, man, they got a pretty decent-sized payroll for that franchise. I didn't realize that. It's pretty decent sized one. It's not as small as some of the other teams.
Votto's going to get his, best believe.
But, yeah, sell. Cubs gotta sell. If they don't, then I'm really wondering what the hell they're doing.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Maybe with all this,
I'm telling you, Stroman, he's probably 1 or 2 right now as far as top pitchers that are going to be on the market. Like, they can really get a lot for him.
Let me get Stroman. I'll take him
our way. We'll take him.
I'll take Stroman. He fits the vibe. He fits the vibe.
He'll pitch five good innings, and then he'll just blow it up in the 6th. So
shut up. You shut your mouth.
All right, we'll take them out right there.
Well, boys, it's been an hour. We keep you guys to a certain time. This is perfect, man. This is perfect. This is a blast. I want to thank Jesse, our first guest, man. I clap it up for this guy right here. Thanks for coming on with us.
Appreciate
You know, your
guys
NBA
having me.
insight, your bandwagon takes with OKC, stuff like that, man. It's great. I love the banter. It's a blast. We'll have to get you back on here during the season, man.
Always a good time, gentlemen. Always a good time. I appreciate you guys having me.
100%, 100%. Any words of wisdom before we bounce here? Anybody?
Formula One race starts in an hour.
God, this
We're at the
motherfucker
legendary
and his Formula One.
Silverstone.
Lewis Hamilton. What's his odds? I'm taking him.
No, don't take him. I think he's starting. I think he's starting 7th. If you want to make some money,
Verstappen. Minus 900.
He's a favorite. He's the favorite, the overwhelming favorite. The McLarens look really nice this weekend. They've been looking like shit all year, and they just put their guys on P2 and P3. Lando Norris might be a guy if you're gonna throw some money on.
I'm not gonna bet on a guy that has the same name as your dog. I think there's a little bias there.
100%.
I'm not a fan of him at all.
I'm just messing with you.
Not a chance am I a fan of him.
The McLarens, you say, huh?
McLarens, yes.
You don't say they look nice, huh? Those McLarens.
They actually do. They brought back an old design. Well, as far as like the cosmetics on the car, they brought back their chrome design for this weekend. It looks pretty nice. But
that's fire.
Y'all got to get into Formula One, man. You're missing out. I'm telling you.
I'll tap in a little bit. I've been trying to dabble. I've been dabbling.
You got an hour until the race starts.
Yeah, I'll grab me a little Irish coffee. We'll get it cracking. We'll get it cracking. All right, boys. Appreciate you guys. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.